How long will the entire process take from design to permitting to completion?
Generally, we take about 3 months to get through the design. It could be 3 to 4 months, depending on the design and how much direction a client has to start with. If they have inspiration photos put together and thoughts on how they would like to see their project in the long run, that's definitely helpful. It just gives us some more direction and expedites the process a little bit. So I would say that would be closer to a 3 month process through the design. Permitting, depending on the job, if we were, say, to do a new build, it would take about 5 to 6 months. If it's a remodel that's all interior, I would say the permitting is somewhere in the 1 month realm. And then the construction portion of the project really depends on the size of the project and what are we doing. If we're doing a new build, we've completed new builds in as quick as 10 months, but somewhere from 10 to 12 months, depending on the size of the project. If it's a remodel, it really depends on what are we starting with. Are we starting with a newer home? Or are we starting with an older brick home? In Denver, we have a lot of brick homes. And when working with the brick, it is somewhat more of a fragile and delicate situation. So it can take some more time to make sure that we're doing everything completely. But I would like to say if we were doing a full interior remodel on a new home, we're somewhere around 5 months, whereas on a brick home, we might be closer to 7 or even 8 months. So really, the amount of the construction time completely is dependent on the type and the size of the project that we're doing.
Between design, permitting, and construction, are there any gaps or overlaps, or do they just run one into the next?
Yeah, when we do the design, we have to have a completed set of design plans to submit to the city. And as soon as we have those submitted to the city, that starts our permitting process. And we can't start, there are little things that we can do in the construction portion of the job before we get the permit, but we really don't like to do that because we don't want to find out that maybe something didn't get approved that we took for granted, and therefore we spent time and money doing something that we didn't need to do or weren't able to do. So we really do, we wait till the plans are completed 100% to get it submitted for the permit, and we wait for the permit to get submitted before we start any of the construction.
So let's say permitting takes more or less time than expected. Could that jam up FSB's schedule, or would we be ready to start construction once we have the green light?
We are able to facilitate a build with other builds going on. So we have the staff also to be able to start a new build at any moment. For us, it isn't the actual construction portion that takes so much time. It's all the planning that goes into it prior. So we put the time in on the front end to make the construction process go as smooth as possible. And because of that, it makes it easier for us to run multiple jobs at the same time. So we have people in the office taking care of the planning, and then we have people in the field that are doing the execution.